Hi, my name is Devon Boldman. Everyone calls me Misty. Um, in the last 9 years, I have discovered that I have MS, I have renal failure. I had to have surgery for my eyes, so now I am partially blind. I walk with a limp. I'm constantly falling. I'm scared to eat because I end up throwing up and it can get real bad and I end up in the hospital. I hate going to the hospital. I have a fistula in my left arm, so when it's time to give me an IV, at that time, it was really hard and impossible. There was a time that I got stuck for an IV 10 times. And they had to call the lady with the sonogram machine to find an artery in my inner arm. And she had to stick me there, and it hurts so bad. I don't wish that on anybody. Over time, my doctor looked at me and said, after looking at my blood test, he said to me, "Do you have sickle cell?" I said, "No, aren't you born with that?" He was like, "Yeah, but your blood is so low, I am tempted to send you to get a blood transfusion." I have had colonoscopies to see if I was bleeding there. They could not find where my blood was disappearing to. So they started me on Procrit along with the other many pills and shots I have to take on a continuous basis. I am so depressed every day. I have one son, and he loves me. He really does, but I know I get on his nerves. I'm alone here when he's at school, and I get real depressed, and I start crying. I start screaming. I start cleaning. I will start cleaning if I'm upset. I've been sleeping constantly. I'm tired of sleeping, really tired. But if I stand up too long, I feel like I'm gonna pass out. My limbs get weak and there's a pressure in my chest. And it just feels like if I don't sit down, I'm going to fall down. I do have help, but emotionally, my family does not help me. They don't even call me. Neither side. Me and my father just recently got into a heated argument, and I refused to speak to him, and he refuses to speak to me. And as far as I'm concerned, that's perfectly fine. When I was going in and out of the hospital in the beginning, he never came to see me. We've called him, me and my caregiver. He never came to see me. when I needed a ride home from the hospital and I couldn't get anybody else to come. He got an attitude and came and got me. He was irritated. Well, that's what my perception was. I'm not close to any of my brothers and sisters from my father. I have 2 sisters and 1 brother from my dad. The only one that will speak to me is the middle one. And that's if I initiate the conversation. I love my niece and nephew, even though I never met them. They're beautiful, beautiful babies. Now with my mom, I have a sister, which is my baby sister, and I have a brother. He's the middle child, and I have officially disowned him for several reasons, and it pisses me off to think about it, but to each his own. I don't live with him, he don't live with me, he doesn't pay my bills and I don't pay his. I'm actually going out there in the next 2 weeks to visit because my kidney doctor told me that due to my numbers, by the end of the year, I'll be on dialysis. I'm scared. I don't like needles. I mean, it's worse enough that I gotta stick myself at least 4 to 5 times in one day. To have the needle that goes in your arm to go into the tube, I don't know if I can handle it. I have a really bad anxiety. Like I said, I'm here by myself during the day. I would go outside, but I've been falling a lot lately and hurting myself. I fell out of the bathtub a couple of days ago. I fell through my son's bedroom door twice this month, and I fell today. I didn't even pick up what I knocked over. It hurt real, real bad. I know I'm going to get through this. All I got to do is have faith and believe. I know it, but the fear and the loneliness is so strong. I even started back cutting myself. I don't know if you guys can see it or not, but I've gone back to cutting myself. It made me feel better at the time. I'm not trying to kill myself or anything. Just in my mind, if I'm in pain, that means I'm physically in pain. So I have to cause the physical pain to match my emotional and mental pain. I know that sounds really stupid, but that's my logic. I know people love me, but I feel like people don't love me. They don't come see about me. My uncles, I have 3 uncles here in California that don't bother. I gotta over a handful of cousins that don't bother. I have a brother that's here. He doesn't bother. My father never did in the first place. I don't speak to my great grandmother because of the same reasons. All that loud talking, causing people to get up and leave because she's so loud, and I can't stand loudness. I can't just being loud for no reason. I don't know if she was trying to get attention or not, but the last time I spoke to her was, I think, 2 weeks after Mother's Day. It's been a year now. It doesn't matter. They never wanted to be in my life in the first place. You know? I've lost all my friends, or I've grown distant from my friends. My biggest fear is dealing with this illness of mine by myself. And the fucked up part is I'm the reason why I'm in this situation. I didn't take insulin for 2 years because I could not afford it. I had to take care of my son. But as people have told me, how can you take care of your son if you don't take care of yourself? I know I ain't got them all. I'm slow reacting. I didn't look at it that way. But I had to make sure he had food. He had stuff, clothes, shoes. And you know, boys go through shoes and pants like they're made out of paper. My son was a Cub Scout. And he graduated out of the Cub Scout. But I couldn't, at that time I became ill with my diabetes, so I couldn't continue him into Boy Scouts. He didn't want to go anyway. But he had fun. He was a Tiger Cub all the way to a Weeblo 2. I'm so proud of my son, but right now he's having a lot of difficulty in school. But he's trying to be a man and take care of his business. He is very good at his art. My son is very talented. Well, I thought I would try this.